The one thing that I was, because I used to coach as well. I used to coach rep at Silver Knights, York South Silver Knights, which I don't know if you know, but whatever. Anyways, it,
Okay, super nice. Yeah.
yeah, okay. It used to be interesting because I was so interested in the way players dealt with failure, like how they dealt with a loss, how they dealt with potentially like going through obstacles, and let's say it's a tough game, ref isn't giving you the whistle,
Mhm.
something like that, right? How do you deal with that type of thing? I want to ask you because you just mentioned like the luxury of some of these kids having crazy courts, and then some of these kids probably not having any courts at all, right? Um,
Mhm.
how do you deal with it, you yourself? How do you deal with teaching these kids failure, learning how to overcome an obstacle, and things like that?
Um, I'm going to be very honest with you. Me as a coach, I played at Vaughan. I don't know if you got to talk to
Yeah,
Sean
yeah.
much, but I played at
Oh,
Vaughan.
we'll talk about that in a bit. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, I played at Vaughan. So this is something that to this day, and I shout out these guys. You know, I had a guy named Coach Elkins and Coach Paul, and our philosophy at the time, because at the time, like I said, my school was pretty good at basketball, and we won
Yeah.
it quite a bit.
Yep.
So the philosophy at Vaughn was anything under first place when it was a come to a medal or something, we just threw it in the garbage. That was how I was taught.
Right.
And that is something that I remember the first time that we came second in a tournament, and this was the first time this was grade 10. And he told me, he's like, why do you want that? He's like, this is Coach Paul looking at me. Why do you want that? That just shows that you were the first loser. What did you accomplish? What
Mm-hmm.
did you guys do? And how we spun it it just stuck with me, and it stuck with all of us really. And because I played with some great players that went on to play at great post-secondary schools as well.
Yep.
So how we spun it was just basically like, you're right. Why do I want this? And it just kind of stuck with me, and I took it through. Obviously, I'm coaching kids now, so I'm not going to do the same thing. But I do try to make it understand that this is not the end of where, this is not supposed to be the peak of how we feel towards the situation. They're upset. Usually some of them are upset, and I do talk to them and make sure that we're kind of cooled down and everything after the fact. But it just shows, I kind of put a twist on it, it shows that we have more room to grow. That's it. I didn't kind of go in that direction with it, and kind of make sure that you install that with them and make sure that they understand that if they want more, they're going to have to give more. And that's just how it goes sometimes. You can play the best sometimes, and sometimes shots don't fall. Sometimes things don't go your way. They come down, they hit all their shots. It happens. And, you have to understand that sometimes. But for the things that you could control, I always tell them is effort and defense. And that's something that you guys could always control. Our shots might not drop. We might miss 100 layups. And trust me, I've been in games where we've missed 100 open layups.
Yeah.
But as long as you guys are working hard and you guys are still talking, communicating, and still positive, things will turn out the way they need to turn out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the bunch of kids that I've had the pleasure of working with in the last year, they've they've grown a lot. They've been able to do quite a lot with basketball in their age group, and they've been able to compete at a fairly high level. Especially starting because I just started with these guys. This was my first year coaching the 2007 group,
Right.
and even having the 2007 team.
Damn.
And we went.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, we went. Yeah, they're young. They're babies, and we've come in a long way. So they've been able to grow and they've been able to compete. We've got a lot of second places so far. Still have a few ways to work before we get that first place. But it's been good. It's been a good transition, and they understand that they need to work harder, and they're committed to working harder. So then we have that understanding with each other, and that it's pretty easy going. Like I don't have to come in and yell at them much. We understand that we want to win, and we both have that genuine mutual interest. So it's fairly simple.